Kiss. Keep it simple, stupid.
I promise you, this is not a political podcast.
Jump from the deep end of the pool, set up the mood. Paranoid radio, set up the mood. Paranoid radio, set up the mood. Paranoid radio, set up the mood. 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 Set up the mood.
Somebody had to go squeeze out a pickle.
I tried. It didn't happen. Thank you very much. Mhm.
I'm the type to let gravity do its thing. You catch
Well,
my drift?
it was pizza for dinner because I'm trying not to do like a whole lot of stuff since I'm going to be making a lot of food this week,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, all right, I'm going to cheat and have pizza today. And
You can't.
hello, pizza has
Yeah.
garlic. So,
Oh,
yeah,
snap.
yeah.
Okay, so let's make this one snappy. Ever seen that Chinese guy that wipes his butt? And he's like, how are you supposed to wipe your butt? And the other guy goes, this thing is all out of whack. Like somebody was touching my mic.
Maybe.
Anyway, he goes, what do you mean you wipe your ass like that? You grab it, right? You fold it and then you wipe, right? And he goes, that's not how you're supposed to be wiping. I've never wiped my ass like that. And then the guy hosting the party, he's like, what do you mean? How do you wipe your ass? He goes, I grab one sheet of paper, I poke a hole in my finger, I wipe with my finger, and then I take it all off with
Oh,
the
gross.
paper.
No, baby. No. No. Not going to be doing that.
Oh, snap.
Afraid of
Testicles
poop.
1, 2. Testicles. Welcome back to Paranoid Radio Podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I love these crazy-ass intro conversations because they're genuine. She really did text me that minutes before we started. I was like, that's
I
perfect.
did.
Yes.
That's how you know you're in my circle, right?
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah, man. I'm happy and honored to be in it. I want to thank the Lord for allowing me to be here, ladies and gentlemen. I want to thank every single one of you for allowing me to enter your space. I haven't recorded every single episode you've been listening on this past 2-3 weeks. Have been all pre-recorded a week, like 3 weeks before. So I haven't touched my stuff for a while. So Janet's going to turn me back on into the mic right now, and we're going to get back in. I am your humble host, Trebles Garcia. And I want to thank every single one of you guys for joining back on Paranoid Radio Podcast. I want to remind you guys that the most important thing that you can do for the show is word of mouth. Oh, yeah. And check us out at paranoidradio.com. Check out the affiliations with Flavors of the Forest, hand-picked ingredients done in the backwoods of Oregon, grown by Bigfoot himself. Raw garlic dust, freeze-dried, now in a bottle. And you could get 15% off on paranoidradio.com. Just put paranoid, no D, paranoid at the checkout, and you get that coupon activated. Make sure you check us out at paranoidradio.com. Paranoidradio.com again. And and she almost woke up. And ladies and gentlemen, do not forget to please drop a 5-star review on Apple Podcast. That allows other people to enjoy the show as much as I enjoy making it. Okay, here we go. The long-awaited episode that has us all biting and waiting and eating and overeating with anxiety. We got some people that gave me hate mail. Some people want asking for this episode. I got JB from Renegade Family of Light asking me, like, when the hell are you going to drop it, bro? I thought you already had it in the bank. I'm like, yeah, bro, we postponed on each other 4 times for this specific episode. But I'm humbled and I'm honored that it's finally happening here. So, without no further ado, jump in from the deep end of the pool and set in a freaking mood. Please give a warm welcome to the hostess of the Deplorable Nation podcast, Deplorable Janet herself in the flesh, here today. Welcome back, Janet. How are you?
Hello. It's nice to be back, and sorry that you got some hate mail. I think we've all gotten a little hate mail here and there. Hopefully yours aren't psychotic like the ones that I get, so,
No, they're not. It wasn't psychotic. It was just a hater. If you don't got any haters, if you don't got any enemies, if you don't got any friends that were friends and now enemy friends or whatever, you're not doing anything right. So you
That's
got
right.
to have some people always opposing you. That's how you know you're doing things right. And there's no
Hmm.
such thing as bad publicity. If you take the time to go to paranoidradio.com to drop a long ass email for I could read and tell me how you feel, I won. I won. You got to
Hmm.
click, you checked me out, and I'm sure that you're listening to this episode just to see the reaction. So thank you for the download.
You
Oh,
got in
snap.
someone's headspace. Hmm. Yeah.
Mama mental
Living
reset.
rent free. Yeah.
And I just want to remind you, Janet, if you're gonna talk shit about anybody or anything, make sure you let them know that they are a douche canoe.
Yeah.
All right, here we
There
go.
are
Where
douche
did
canoes out there. And I just want to say I'm going to preface this episode by saying um, this one gets spicy. The next one probably is going to be way spicier, but I probably will have frenemies after this episode, which is completely okay with me. Yeah.
that is
Because
how we do it.
if they pick on me, then they leave someone else alone. I have broad shoulders and it's okay. So,
If they pick on you, we are getting virtually down. They could catch these mics. You get because we're on a mic. Anyway, I'm ready to get down, and I am ready to hear the rest of this amazing documentary.
okay.
Where do we leave off?
So, last episode I told you like I was having all the little TIAs and, little mini strokes and whatever, and struggling with my ex-husband and his bad behavior and struggling with my daughter's behavior and, medical bills are mounting and of course attorney fees are mounting and whatever. I have a very stressful job working ungodly hours. And
Mhm,
so while I'm having these little mini strokes,
mhm,
I was having a lot of chest pain with the mini strokes.
mhm.
And so regular nitro wasn't working. And so the cardiologist is like, you know what we're going to do? He's like, we're going to put you on a daily nitro. That's what we're going to do for you.
Mhm.
So he prescribed me that on a Friday night. I went and picked it up. Greg flew in late Friday night. So I had to drive an hour to the airport to pick him up. And then, he was only able to stay overnight. So Sunday morning before I took him back to the airport, um, or Saturday when I went to take him back to the airport, I took the pill for the first time.
Oh,
We drove all the way over to the airport and I was like, you know what? I feel really weird. I'm like, I don't know what it
uh-oh.
is, but something is strange. So he takes off on his flight. I drove all the way back home. By the time I get home, I can barely get out of the car. And so I kind of like crawled up my front porch steps to get in the house. And by the time I get inside, I grabbed my phone and I called my parents. Luckily, they had a key to my house. And I was like, you need to come over. Something is wrong with me. So in the, 5-10 minutes it took them to get there, I completely lost all use of my arms and my legs.
Uh-oh.
So called paramedics, ended up in the hospital for
Mhm.
like 5 days. They didn't know what was wrong with me. My heart was going berserk. So I ended up having atrial fibrillation because of the medication that they gave me for chest pain.
Uh-huh.
So spent 5 days in the hospital, in and out of consciousness. Everything was going crazy. And this was the turning point in my entire life because it was like a near-death experience. And before I was like very shy, very quiet, reserved. I wouldn't, say boo to anybody.
Mhm,
So
mhm.
when I got out of the hospital, I turned into a very different person. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to live my life. I'm going to say what I want. I'm going to do what I want.
Oh,
And
snap.
so, yeah. And so, um, when I was married before, it was like he was very controlling and stuff. And I told you that. Well, Greg's
Mhm,
ex-wife was the same.
mhm.
Very scheduled, very regimented, had a list of chores every day on the refrigerator, the whole 9 yards.
Oh,
Couldn't listen
snap.
to couldn't listen to the music unless she approved it, couldn't watch shows unless she approved it. And so this was the point where both of us went wild,
Huh.
absolutely wild, crazy. And we were like, you know what? Um, we are going to live completely in the flesh and do whatever we want to do and basically live out every fantasy, every debauchery you could think of. That was the
Hmm.
name of the game.
Yeah.
Because we had both been pent up for so long that, and after this experience, I wasn't shy anymore.
Yeah. I mean, you lost
Needless
your
to
freaking
say,
limbs.
needless to say, I did finally get the use of my arms and legs back after 5 days, but
Obviously. Okay.
so we decided that we were going to have a lot of firsts together,
Hmm.
and explore all kinds of stuff. And first it started with like sexual exploration and living out like fantasies and whatever we'd think about and role
Hmm.
playing and all of that stuff.
Yeah.
um and at the time we were going to the bar a lot, and we actually spent our wedding night in this local bar,
Uh-huh.
and we became fixtures in the local music scene. So much so, we went there so much that the staff was like, these two seats right here in the front are reserved.
Huh.
And these are, you can't sit there. And
Hmm.
so we started hanging out with all of not just the local bands, but all the national touring bands.
Hmm.
So we were having wild parties after the bar would close with these national bands. We started going to strip clubs with the bands when they would come in town. So I didn't do drugs. I was never into that, but it was like getting lap dances from people or whatever that these national bands were paying for, and like I was drinking like crazy. You wouldn't think that somebody of my size could hold the liquor volume that I did, but yeah, I definitely partially own stock in the beer companies. Yeah. And so this started being a thing, and we started getting like the reputation as like the really fun couple in town, right? And everybody had to hang out with us and tell us their deepest, darkest secrets and deepest, darkest desires. And people would start coming up to us at the bar and say things like, I'll pay you $1,000 if I can tie your wife up. And he's like, what? Well, yeah, I'm into shibari, which is rope tying. And he's like, she doesn't even have to be like nude or anything, but I'll pay you $1,000 if you let me tie her up. I don't care if you watch, it's fine, whatever.
Oh, snap.
So we
Here we go.
started getting interesting offers from people. And I was like, this, yeah, I'm not into that because this guy's creepy and whatever. I'm like, you would have to bring like weaponry and stuff because, yeah, he's just creepy.
Mhm.
But then it started turning into, hey, guys, guess what? We know of this site, this fetish site that you should join. Um, Make an account and then you can join like local groups or put in like specific interest or things like that. Um, and I think you guys would really like that. So we're like, we'll check this out. And so, first it was like really boring, really vanilla pictures that we did together or whatever. And then it was like, that's interesting. There's actually groups and clubs in our city. Who knew? Where you could do all these different things that you wanted. No clue.
Here we go.
I had no idea, right?
Damn.
And so we started taking really erotic photos, and posting them. And, we have very open communication here. And so Like his phone is my phone is his phone. We don't hide anything. So that was never in question, and there's no
Hmm.
jealousy here.
Hmm.
And so we're posting these pictures and stuff, and I start getting flooded with messages on this site. And first it was small things like a local photographer, and he wants to start like a boudoir, you know, photo
Portfolio type
place.
of shit.
Right.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
And he's like, I want you to launch that. And so after talking with him for a while and getting acquainted with him and stuff, because he was local, I was like, okay. So I was the face of their boudoir photography, whatever. And so anytime he would show advertisements or something, it was me, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
So it started out like that, and then it moved into getting emails from people or messages from people. Can you do something in, like red lingerie or whatever? And I'm like, I don't have red lingerie. Oh, well, here's is a gift card that I'm gonna send you, and go buy whatever lingerie you want if you'll take this picture, whatever.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hmm.
So it started sweet and innocent like that. We're chuckling back and forth because I'm getting like all kinds of dick pics from people and all of that stuff.
Typical. Yeah.
Nothing that we didn't share because I was like, we actually ranked them in folders, like,
Mhm.
but and we need to like fire hose type stuff, whatever. And we would chuckle about it. So we're doing that, and we're both doing posting photos and stuff, and I'm getting all kinds of emails and stuff like that. And I get a lady contact me that has her own private film studio,
Mhm.
and she's like, we would like you to come and do some fetish kink stuff. She's like, no penetration, no nothing like that, but it's like people request specialized videos. So caning, which they do your feet. I was
Oh
like, I was
God.
like, no, I can't do that because I can't have somebody touch my feet. Like
Uh-huh.
not even
You
for a
get tickled?
pedicure. Yeah, I'm like can't do that. So it was like tickle video and like cat of
With
nine
the feathers, like
tails,
the feather stuff, like you put little feathers and they play with little toys and
that and tickles, like
okay.
finger tickles,
That's
whatever.
this is
Right.
gradually getting intense, bro.
But the reason why, and we talked about it beforehand, is because there is very, very good money in that. Now,
Yeah.
mind you, I'm not making what I deserve to be making. And I have all these bills and stuff. And so we talked about it, and he's like, okay, if you want to do it, he's like, I don't have a problem with that. So I did. I drove to their house. I spent the night at their house. It was very professional. And so they did a series of shoots or whatever, and it was just random, like I said, tickle video or ball gag video or something, but it was nothing too heavy, right?
Hmm.
Nothing sexual in nature whatsoever. So that was my start into the fetish community, I guess you could say. Outside of the things that we did personally. And so it kind of snowballed from there. And so I got, like I said, the boudoir stuff, and there was other photographers that were hitting me up for other fetish type stuff and, latex shoots and, body paint
Yeah.
and things of that nature. And
Hmm.
so I was able to make quite a bit of money just doing little tiny things like that, whenever they would arise, and as long as I felt safe and, comfortable and stuff like that. And so I'm doing that. while we're doing this whole drinking thing and partying with all these bands and stuff like that. We were hanging out with people from like Cinderella and people from Rat and, Guns N' Roses, LA Guns, like anybody that came through.
Ooh.
So it was nothing for people to be. And like I said, I was a very different person because I was no longer shy. And it would be like, I will pay you $100 if you'll flash me your boobs. Okay. There you go. Give me my money. And so that was like the thing. Of course, I definitely made a name for myself in the local scene and, word got around, but it was kind of one of those things where it was so fun because people knew like about, all the different shoots and things like that I was doing. And so they started having special themed parties at the bar. And so we would have lingerie parties for my birthday, and everybody would wear lingerie or, whatever. The bartenders were naming drinks after us and, you know, all of that kind of
Intense.
stuff.
Okay. Uh-huh.
Yes. And so the same people that were like, well, if you like this fetish site that you guys have been on, um, there's a club here in town I think you should check out. Okay. It was a swingers club.
Mhm. That
And
was probably the
so
next elevation. Yeah.
we went to the swingers club. Mind you, we did not do a single thing, but you can literally see, do, touch, smell, feel anything you want to do there,
Oh yeah.
which we did not. We were just very quiet observers and we're like, okay,
Getting a
what's
feel for it.
what's in
Hmm.
this room? What's upstairs? What's okay? And it was like downstairs was like a dance party and a bar and whatever, and you could wear clothes or not wear clothes, and it was whatever. So we went there twice, never did anything, just
Hmm.
watched. And then we hear for the grapevine, hey, guess what? There is a clothing optional resort you guys should check out.
Yeah. They start flying because they really want you to join the scene. Yeah.
And I was
Hmm.
like, clothing optional resort.
Invites and stuff.
We both hate to wear clothes. So okay, well let's go check it out, right? And so it was in Georgia.
Hmm.
And so we drove all the way down there and we stayed and we had such a fun time that we actually extended our trip for like an additional 5 days and
Hmm.
stayed longer because you could swim naked, you could play volleyball naked. You didn't have to, you could wear clothes.
Hmm.
But you could literally do anything there. You could go into the restaurant with no clothes on, whatever. So it was kind of like at that time, okay, we're just free. We're just, he's free balling and I'm free flapping, and that's, you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah. Free flag. Every single time you walk, it goes like this.
curtains. Thank you.
Oh,
Thank
God.
you, everyone. And so, like that was our like acclimation, I guess you could say, to the fetish world and things that go on in the community that you had no idea the people that you hang out with
Are
have that side to
associated.
them. Yeah.
I'm gonna share this. Here it comes. I'm gonna have to freaking amplify everything.
Okay.
I was 21, 22, 22, fresh out of jail. And I was working at this company called Leg Avenue. I worked there for 7 years of my life. I started at the warehouse, gradually became a forklift driver. Then VP saw that I was good talking, so he goes, you want to become a customer service?" I'm like, "Let's go." I was a receptionist and customer service. Then it became an inside sales rep. And slowly, now, mind you, Leg Avenue is a lingerie. It's in the
Hmm.
lingerie industry. So we would go to these expositions for lingerie in the adult industry.
Hmm.
You could connect it very fast. I'm not
Hmm.
going to mention anybody by name, But I'm not sure if these people even work there anymore. I haven't worked there for the last almost 8 years. Still have great connections with the owners. Um, I started doing part-time costume modeling. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then I did a little bit of accounting and we would travel, to different states and different parts of the world where we would meet with these people that were trying to get the latest trend in lingerie. Now,
Mm-hmm.
mind you, when you go to the adult expositions, you meet a lot of people in the adult industry,
Mm-hmm.
porn stars, etc. You're trying to be seen. So yeah, my ex-coworker, invited me onto a party with her man at the time, and he was a SWAT officer. And she's an amazing person. I didn't even know she was into that stuff. She goes, Angel, we were at a Christmas party. She goes, Hey, Angel, would you like to go to a get together? But please don't freak out. You know, I've talked to my boyfriend about it. He, you'll be welcome to come in. Invite only. Cool. All right. In the city of Hacienda Heights here in California. Big ass pad. I'm talking about like 6 to 8 rooms and a beach house.
Mm-hmm.
Bad. It wasn't 2-story. It was 1 story. It was nice, huge. And walked in there, and there was a little mini security guard right in the front. Nice gated house, and even the door on the thing on the ornaments on the door were pineapples and stuff. And I was like, what the fuck? I didn't get it, bro. I didn't know. Bro, I wouldn't fucking know, dog. So I walked through there, and at first, nobody was partying. At first, we were all drinking. You saw couples. There was at least, I want to say 18, 20 couples. And other random dudes like me that were just walking around. They call those the bulls. I'm not saying I got a big old dick, guys. I'm just saying they called us the bulls, the invites. We walked in. I was a lot more handsome back then. Walked in there, and there was a jacuzzi. There was a black guy there, and then two guys, and then there 2 women, and he was in the middle, and they were just partying, drinking, making noise. And the DJ was all the way by the corner of the freaking of the other side of the pool, a nice little oval-shaped pool, and there was like a little tiki bar. I walked into the tiki bar. Lights were like flashing on the tiki bar. The tiki bar guy seemed gay, but he was really friendly. He was like, hey, I've never seen you here before. I was like, it was the party, and they just got invited, whatever, etc. And during the path from the foyer to the back door, glass door, to the tiki bar, where there was like, they had heaters there, like for people like to heat up there because it was a cold night. Two couples came up to him like, hey, what's your name? This is my wife. What'd you think of us? And I was like, you guys are amazing or whatever. Me, I didn't fucking know.
You didn't know what kind of party you were at.
So my homegirl at this point, she left me and she goes, I'll be right back. And she goes into the room because her man had barely came in. It was me and her. And then we walked in there and she splits and I go to the tiki bar. I'm like, I'm going to go wait for her at the tiki bar. Open bar. Open a beer, chug it. I'm chugging down my beer after I just said hi to the second couple, and the lights go boom, red. Oh, yeah. And I hear the DJ go like screaming. I'm like, what the fuck? And I see the black guy. He's naked at the corner of the freaking jacuzzi, dude. And he's like, yeah, with the heart on. He's just like swinging.
He's helicoptering.
And I'm like, what? And then the 2 wives with the guys that were there, they were all up on his legs, like touching his legs. And I'm like, what the fuck? And I'm looking at everybody and they just start macking on each other and they're like touching and like hugging and screaming and drinking. And I'm like, whoa.
What kind of party am I at?
Got it. I was like, this is an orgy. And I was like, an orgy? No, I wasn't educated. And then there's one of those parties. And I'm like, holy smack. I'm like, okay, I started freaking out. I started like panting because I wasn't turned on by it. It was like,
you were scared.
Maybe I was scared. I was in shock. I was like, there was nobody with me. I'm alone. What the fuck? My homegirl's not here. So I'm walking. So I'm through I went through the kitchen. I go through the hallway, and the hallway's long. And there's like 2 restrooms, 2 like half restrooms that connect to the doors, right? I mean, to the rooms. So to the first room, the doors are opened, but they have like those beads hanging down, kind of like a Chinese little bar.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, I open it up, and I'm like, dude, and I see, and it's like red lights. I see 2 dudes on 2 girls, and I keep walking. I hear all this moaning, like, fucking going crazy. They're smashing. They're having sex. So I'm walking. I open up. There's a two couples in the room. There's another one on the couch just going at it. At it. Like I'm talking about at it. I'm not going to go into more details. So then I hear my homegirl screaming, like having some fun. And then I go to it was a third room to the right, and I open it up and I kind of move the curtain. That one had like 3 curtains on, and it was like a mesh that you can only see the lights that are going off in like the silhouettes of the body, so you can't really see anybody in the behind. So when I moved it backwards, I'm like, oh, smack. They're hiding. It was like that. That was like the tying bondage little room, I guess. They had tied her up. There was 2 guys there, and I guess her man was gay because they were going at it too with the guy. I was like, whoa. When I went like that, I went like to. I saw her. I'm not gonna mention her name, and I was like, I'm out. And I'm out. And I grabbed my beer and not gonna leave the beer behind, I'll tell you that much. I walked down, I'm like, where are you going? Where are you going? I'm like, I'm going, bro. It's not for me. It's just not for me. All right, you wanna ride? Want me to let you borrow a car? I was like, no. Like they were extremely friendly. Walked out, the security guard told me, like, oh, you're not gonna be able to come back in. I'm like, no, I'm good. Called an Uber and I left. True story. But it's
Yeah,
a
and
wild ride.
yeah, and it was shocking, and I think that's why like we never did anything when we went to that club because we didn't know what to expect, and we walked in, and I mean, when you can say that you can see, smell, touch, taste, or feel anything, that's not a lie. And you can see literally anything and everything in every part of everyone. There's no doors on the rooms, so there's no like privacy. The whole
Yeah.
upstairs is that way. It's got the rooms, and then it's also got this big open room for the orgy stuff. If that's your thing, there's rooms that are bondage. There's like so many different chaotic things going on. One section had stripper poles, and just, like everything had something else. And I think it was very overwhelming for us.
It's heavy.
And we're just like,
Absolutely.
I didn't even feel like comfortable to like stand and watch anything because I was so like, I think overstimulated, right? And
Overstimulated is good. I like
I
that. I
don't
like
mean stimulated down below either. I mean, I felt like all these emotions were attacking me all at once, and I'm like, I don't know what to do with this. And I have been in the fetish industry for a while now and doing, shoots. And you said legs, and I know that company, and
Mhm.
it's like the more that you are in this, fetish lifestyle, the more things that you learn, the more things that people send you. I had people that were custom making like cat o' nine tails or riding crops or, whatever. And they would give them to me for free. Local artisans would give me these things for free to try it out. I had people that were making like dildos and the whole 9 yards. And when I say I had a Rubbermaid tote full of toys, I don't mean a small one. I mean one that you would pack like king size bedding in, like that big.
What?
Yes. And
Whoa.
people would, like I said, like send me gift cards to buy lingerie, or companies would send me stuff, or people would make things or whatever. So we literally tried out everything that people sent, like all the time. Like, or we would go and we would shop and we would buy our own stuff. So the people at the local sex toy shop knew us pretty well because, we
You were
frequented.
a star. Freaking Janet. I
So,
thought it was gonna get
so,
worse, Janet. Oh
well,
God.
it's I'm gonna save the super uber juicy for the
Oh
next
God.
episode. But this is like this is dipping your toe in the water as to what comes next. Just saying.
I'm not gonna assume your gender. No, I'm playing. I'm not gonna assume anything. I hate doing that because that's the first thing that pops into my head when I say assume. I'm not gonna say anything here that's gonna possibly ruin the next episode. We're on the 5th episode here, guys.
Mhm.
First, thank you for opening up and being so open about that situation. Nothing bad.
Mhm.
There's nothing bad. Excuse me.
I was
Spicing
bad.
things up.
I was behaving badly at the time. But it was fun behaving
It was
badly.
fun. You have to get it out of your system, bro. You have to get it out of your system somehow.
Mhm.
I'll
Mhm.
be honest with you. There's only one way to live, and it's going through all the niches, all learning every aspect of yourself, learning being comfortable in your own skin, and obviously
I
being
am.
comfortable and loving
Mhm.
the person that you've chosen to spend the rest of your days with, and
Mhm.
everybody does it differently. Today, my fourth leg, Juan, shout outs to Juan again because he has a lot of wisdom. He goes, I didn't. He's a Christian, hardcore Bible thumper. He goes, I did not kiss or have sex with my wife until I married her. I'm like, whoa, American style, we would be smashing. And before anything, he goes, no, we had marriage counseling where we were able to tell everybody, we were able to tell each other every single thing about us, like the most intimate things I don't
Right.
like, things I like, my attitude, attributes, everything. So that by the time we get married, you know who you're with, and it doesn't come out as surprise when you have some type of shift in attitude
Right.
or. So he goes, you know who you're marrying. I was like, oh, damn, bro, that's deep. I'm like, I didn't do that. Definitely didn't
Well,
do that.
and that's the way that we are now because we had all of our firsts together and because we were going through this stuff at the same time, and so we're growing at the same pace, going through the same things, and
Damn,
we're
that's freaking
lucky enough
hardcore,
to
dude.
be vulnerable with each other to share things like I like this, I don't like that, like fantasy wise or whatever. Okay, well, I've never done that, but we'll try it together. You know what I mean? And either we like something or we don't like something or whatever, but being able to, and that's why I'm thankful to have been in that world because it opened up avenues to for us to be more sexually available for each other, right? Because a lot of people hide themselves sexually, and it's like, the man's really into X, Y, and Z type stuff, and the woman's only vanilla, and or vice versa,
Mm-hmm.
whatever the case may be. And people are scared to tell their partner what they want or what turns them on. So I'm lucky that we went through the sexual
Damn, that's deep.
escapade journey together.
Woo! What an episode. In the midst of all this, I like to say this, what you guys were doing, you were consecrating a circle jerk of anachronistic debauchery.
That is a very good understatement.
Oh, snap.
And
Janet from the Deplorable
christening.
Nation.
Wait, we were christening everywhere we could find a christen. Inside, outside, everywhere.
Whoa. I have wild some stories. We gotta get together and share those stories. Um, I'm very surprised and again very thankful for you for coming on the show, being extremely open, and I'm sure that people are gonna connect.
They're
There's
gonna
a
be
couple
like,
things in life that
what?
connect, and one is fear. Everybody has fear. The other one is sex. Everybody wants it, and hunger. It's some of the things that we go through as a human being. Janet, let them know where they can find you.
You can find Deplorable Nation podcast on every podcast platform, plus on Rumble. If you want to hit me up, you want to have a chit chat, you want to ask me a question, you want to come on the show, that'd be great. Deplorable Janet on Instagram or No Janet, KNOW on Twitter.
That's right. Make sure you check her out. She's also on the drop-down menu. Special links and guests on paranoidradio.com. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm sorry if I was a little slow today. I am sick, and I'm feeling it now. Now my throat a lot more than when I started, so I'm gonna go drink some medicine and get some food. But this episode comes out this Sunday. What an exciting time to be alive, guys. Stay vigilant. The world is crumbling around us, and we are having fun. So make sure you check us out at paranoidradio.com. Do not forget to drop a 5-star review on Apple Podcast and on Spotify. That allows other people to enjoy the show as much as I enjoy making it. Bye-bye. That was very interesting.
Paranoid Radio.